Welcome to Blonde Cards and Crafts. Let's make something together. Hello crafters, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today we're going to make a really fun card using the February 2024 card kit called Make a Wish, and this is the Love from Lizi Make a Wish card kit. I have been inspired by a card I recently made by Sam from Mixed Up Crafts. She has this wonderful gatefold card and it has all these panels on the front like doors. I can't remember what the name of it is right now off the top of my head, but I'll leave links down below in the description. So click on the more button. You'll find a link to her video as well as measurements for this card and for all the info you need regarding the Love from Lizi kit, etc. But this card, I loved the idea of making this card. Now this one is going to have two floating panels at the front, just two. With Sam's card, she had, I think, is 3 floating panels on the front, and yeah, I just want the one. This is going to be a very special birthday card. It's for my sister, who's a big number this year, so I'm making it a little bit early, but I don't think she watches my videos, so I think it'll be safe, and if she does, I know it'll make her smile just to see it. So without further ado, let us go ahead and make this card. So I have a piece here. It measures 11 by 6. On the long side I have scored it at 1/2 inch, at 2.5, at 8.5, and at 10.5. You then want to rotate it around, and we're going to score it 1 inch past the first score line and down to the second score line. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to score again at 1 inch past the first score line and down to the second one. And then if we bring it back around, because the score line is pushed out this way, you can just bring it up to the 5-inch mark and score down to the second score line if you like. You don't have to, because this score line here is actually a guide for us. It's going to be a cutting line. So we're going to cut out this big rectangle here and this rectangle here. These 4 little pieces are going to get cut out. So that'll be our main card base. We'll do a bit of cutting and folding and burnishing that now in a moment. Next thing I want to look at as these two. These 2 panels will be our floating doors. So when the card is closed, it'll look like a gatefold card. And then rather than them opening like this, some of them you can do a double panel, so they'd open like this. Our doors are actually going to open over and off, so they'll be offset. I'm calling it floating, but it's really, really cool. So I have 2 panels in this lovely lilac color, and this is Lidl's cardstock. It's 280 GSM. These 2 panels measure 3 by 6, so I have 2 of those. I also have 2 black panels. Again, this is cardstock from my stash. This is 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then I have 2 pieces of pattern paper. Now we got 8 sheets of pattern paper in our kit. I said 7 in the unboxing because there was a piece, 2 of them were together and I didn't see them as 2. I saw them as 1. So there's 8 sheets of this fabulous non-shed glitter, and it's ombre pattern paper. You can just see it there in the light. It's so cool. So I have these cut to 2.5 by 5.5. And then onto these panels, it's panels on panels on panels. I have 2 white pieces, and these measure 2 inches by 5 inches. So there's 2 of those. For our center of our gatefold, I have 3 panels. I have a piece of black measuring 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Another piece of this lovely ombre, and it measures 5.5 by 5.5. and then I have this piece which measures 5 by 5. So we'll have this lovely black border on our lavender card, and I think that's going to look really lovely. So onto this then I'll be able to embellish, because we'll have, when the card is standing, you'll see this panel, and then you'll have the 2 floating doors either side. Now I'm going to put my message for my card on the back of my card rather than on this piece here, and for that I have a piece of 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. You don't have to use this if you don't want to, but my panel is going to really focus on the ephemera and my number for my sister's birthday. So I have some of the ephemera here. I have this lovely little fairy. She's going to go on the back panel where I'll put my message, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I have these 4 little pieces of ephemera with the blooms. They're picking up the colors and the blooms in our lovely fairies, and I have another piece that's going to go there. 2 of these will embellish one of the panels, and these 2 will embellish the other panel. I've also got some numbers that I have cut out. I have these large numbers. They're very, very cool. And these are actually from my stash. These are the Landmark Occasions collection. It's a card making magic collection. I have this for a long time in my stash. It has dies for flowers and numbers, and I just like the size of these numbers. You can see them here. So I have not only die cut out the 40, but I have die cut out, I think these are called cardinals. I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comment section below, but I'm going to put 40th. So I'm going to have my fairy up. Now, if you're going to put this in a 6 by 6 envelope, make sure you keep everything within your card size. I'm going to make a box, and I'll probably make it 6.5 by 6.5. So I'm going to have my fairy, you know, poking out a little bit. So she'll be up there. I'll have my 40 down here, and then I can put my 50th, my TH there, like that. And then I'm going to stamp the word birthday below the 40. And to do that, I've got this stamp set here from Love from Lizi. This was the September 2022, the super kit called Full Bloom. And I'm using the birthday sentiment here. You can see by the stamp coloration, I do use it a lot when I do things like this. It's a lovely size. So I'm going to use that birthday, and I'm going to stamp it there. So it'll be 40th birthday on that piece. I'm going to use the stamp set we got in the kit, and I'm going to use the Hope Your Day is as Magical as You Are. So I'll stamp that on my panel for the back. In the middle, I'll pop my little fairy up there, and I may embellish another little bit using some of the other ephemera that we got, because we got loads. So that's the stamp I'm going to use on the back for my sentiment. And then for my 2 panels, because this is a big birthday card, I'm going to stamp some sentiments on either side. You could not use these. Have just your panels with the, you know, you'll have the purple, you'll have the black, and then you'll have the lovely pattern paper. And then you could take some of the ephemera. We got loads, look, and you could just embellish the ephemera. You could put, you know, one piece there and one piece on the other panels. You don't have to use the 2 white panels that I'm going to use. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on these, I'm going to again use a stamp set from my stash. This is a Made to Surprise stamp set. I'm going to put the happy birthday, this one here on this panel, and I'm going to put big birthday, big number, big card on this panel here, and we'll do all the stamping together. I think that'll be lovely. Then when the card is opened up, you'll have big birthday, big number, big card, 40th birthday, and then happy birthday on this. So I think it'll be a really nice mantle pleaser once it's done. I've also got some of the gems. We got 3 different styles of gems in the kit. I'm going to use these ones to embellish my card. And I've also, I took an offcut piece of the pattern paper that we got, and I use a little punch that I have in my stash, this little heart punch here. I got it on Amazon. It was a 3-pack. I'll leave links to those down below if I can find them, but I punched out a load of hearts, and I'm just going to embellish the card in places then with those as well. So that's all our bits and pieces that we're going to need for this, which I'm calling a floating doors gatefold card. So what I'm going to do is move the scoreboard out of the way. I'm going to do some stamping, and then we'll do some assembly. So let's go ahead and do that next. So now, before we go ahead and put our panels onto our card, we need to do some cutting. And to do that, I'm going to use my Fiskars soft grip scissors, but you can use whatever you have in your stash. So you can see we have this score line here at the top there, and at the bottom here. And I want to cut up that score line. So I'm going past the first one and up to the second one. And then I'm going to cut this little panel off, and I want to make sure I take off the score line because this is the top of the card and it's going to be seen. So I'm going to just rotate it around to make it a little bit easier for myself, and I'm going to cut away that score line nice and straight, and then I'll just take that off there rather than pull it off. And I'm going to do the same now with this one. So I'm cutting along here, taking away the score line down to that first score line there, and I'm going to cut across here now. So I'll rotate that around, and there we go. So there is our card base. We've taken away those two little pieces in the corner, and we have cut down along the sides here nice and neat, keeping it nice and tidy. So those can go in the bin. Now we want to do some scoring. So I'm going to score in this way. So we have a valley fold, and I'm going to use my scoring tool to burnish that. So that would give us a gatefold, and then we're going to fold this one, this little 1/2 inch tab back. We're going to do the same for this one. We're going to have our valley fold and then our mountain fold. And then our card will open like so. So our panels, these two panels, they're going to sit on those little tabs, those 1/2 inch tabs like so. So when the card is open, it can open right up, or you can have it open like so. So it'll look like that when it's open. You can see there. And then when we close these over, our panels will close over like so. So it'll look like a gatefold card. And then when you open it up, it actually opens wider than a gatefold. And you could make these pieces acetate so that they'd be hidden. I think would be cool as well. So there we go. We have our two panels there. So what we need to do is add some adhesive to that. Now you can use double-sided tape. You can use liquid glue. I'm going to use quick grab glue. I have Cosmic Shimmer here, but you can use whatever you have in your stash. And this one need to just... My glue is a little bit snotty because my craft room is cold, although I put the heat on before I came in here today. So my glue gets a little bit snotty, so sometimes it doesn't come out as easily. But once I get it going with the pin, it's grand. So now I want to make sure that I keep this piece flat, and I'm going to put my panel on top. And what I'm going to focus on is this corner here. I want this to line up with this corner there, and I'm going to keep it lined up with the side, and then I'm just going to push down. So making sure that my panel lines up with the left hand side of my card base, which it does. I'm going to press that down. So then we can do the same with this one, and we'll add that down like so, keeping it all nice, and we'll have a gatefold. So I'm leaving pressure there. I'm not going faffing with that now until I get this one down. I'm going to give the glue a chance to adhere before I start opening and closing. And again, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to focus on this bottom right corner, keeping it along with the side and the top. And if you stand it down, you'll be able to see that it all lines up. And then once it does, just add a bit of pressure there to where it glues down. And we should have a nice gatefold there. You can see my panels close beautifully. And then when we open this up, you can see the way they offset there. Isn't that so cool? I just love that. I think it's brilliant. I love a gatefold door because you can do so much with them. You know, I think it really, when you open a card that's a gatefold and you go, wow, look at that. You know, it's like looking at a magic trick. I love it. So we have 2 panels to go on the front, and we have a couple of panels to go on the inside. So I'm going to focus on my center panel here first. And what's brilliant is this lie flat, which is fab, you know, so it's easy to work on it. So I'm going to pop my glue pin back into my quick grab glue now, and I'm going to use my Kalal glue to glue this panel down. Lovely. So we have that panel glued down now. I'm going to put my big birthday, big number, and my happy birthday. I'm going to add those 2 panels down next. And this is a non-shed pattern paper, so you can use tape on the back. Normally if you're sticking anything down onto glitter or acetate, you'd use tape, you know, double-sided tape. But I think the Kalal works great on this, but you can use whatever it is that you like. So there we are with our floating doors gatefold card, and how cool does that look? I just think this looks so fab. It closes into a gatefold 6x6 card, and then when you open it out, our doors sit like so, and it looks fab. I hope you like it. What do you think of this style of gatefold door? Doesn't it look really fab? It's a real mantle pleaser, and I think my sister will love it. The back of the card then we've decorated as well. Hope your day is as magical as you are, with the lovely ephemera and the lovely faceted diamantes there. My couple of little hearts that I popped out, and then we have this. I'm delighted with it. I hope you like it too. Don't forget that the measurements are down in the description below. There are links to Lizi's website and to the subscription kit, to the links to the products that I have used, as well as to my Facebook group called Your Cards and Crafts, as well as Lizi's Facebook group too. I'll leave links to the design team members as well that have been working on this kit. They should have videos up now as well, so you'll be able to click on their links and get more inspiration there. So that's it, folks. I'm going to leave you with it now. I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial, and until next time, I'll see you again really soon with another great card using the Love from Lizi February 2024 card kit called Make a Wish. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.